my friends, it's Tanya Haffern and welcome to Side Hustle Academy, where we help entrepreneurs increase their impact, influence and income. On today's show, I have Diaz with me and we've got a message about growing your side hustle. Welcome KK, thank you for joining us today.
Hi Tanya, thank you very much for having me.
KK, tell me a little bit about what it is that you do. I see you've got a lot of books that you brought along to show us today. So just give me a brief idea. What is it that you do and what area do you play in?
So I'm a business strategist and a business coach. I've written 3 books over the last 4 years, currently working on my 4th one. And really the books are to help the clients that I work with, and obviously anybody who's interested to learn more about business, for them to learn about how to grow more than getting started, how to scale their businesses, how to get more aligned with their goals, and obviously how to achieve those goals.
And what gave you the idea? How did you come up with this concept of going out and helping businesses in that area?
I worked for Pastel, which is now called Sage. I got to work with a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of businesses, and I continued to realize how many of them were struggling. And later on in life, I started my own business, or rather this particular business for the reason of helping other entrepreneurs and businesses to grow and scale. And then I realized that it's easy to get started, but it's another to grow.
Absolutely.
And because my brain is wired not only to solve problems, but to find the most difficult of problems and find ways of solving those. So that's how I got stuck into helping the businesses that we call scale-ups.
Take me back to the first stages. You've got this idea, you're trying to go out there and speak to the businesses, you're trying to tell them that you've got this methodology. Why should they trust you? Why should they go with what it is that you were offering?
Having published The Climb, which was also a book around how entrepreneurs and professionals can achieve big goals in their lives without money and without experience. Obviously, those are things that you have to find ways of accumulating. And so I'd already had somewhat of a name when I officially published the methodology. But selling is still a challenge or something that we all pursue and have to do on a day-to-day basis. You will definitely be in obscurity at times where nobody truly knows who you are. And so you have to find a way of articulating your value proposition and, proving to people or convincing them that you are the person to listen to or to speak to about their challenges.
How do you get out there and start speaking to people who have looking at you coming in cold, they've never heard of you before, they don't know that you've got all of these amazing books and this methodology behind you?
Find the profile or the audiences that have the specific criteria that speaks to the personalities of your profile. Speak to that target market, i.e. go to business chambers. When you go to business chambers, the members are obviously business people. And so that tends to be the key to the success that we have in terms of selling to the right target audience. So speak to the right audience,
yes.
Number one. Yeah.
Be clear on who they are and find them.
Yeah, and focus as well,
And talk to me about failing. How important do you think it is to fail as an entrepreneur? Do you think that's an essential part of the journey, or do you think it's possible to just come up with an idea and go out there and smash it from day one?
You will not always succeed. Look at a baby. When a baby is learning how to walk, the baby's going to fall quite a few times, right? And when you think about in business, nobody is born knowing how to go and register or start a business and to grow it. So you will inevitably need to learn. And as you learn, you'll make mistakes. And I always remind people that even people like Richard Branson, the Bill Gates of this world, the most successful people in the world don't always succeed. They fail as well.
So talk to me about a January. We're at the beginning of a new year. Do you have a 5-year plan in place? Do you have a monthly plan in place? How do you set up yourself for success when you look at a plan?
There's something called the New Start effect. Okay, it's actually a scientific term, meaning it's good to start pursuing them at least in January. Don't start planning in January, plan before, so that in January, because of the psychological affinity of newness and the beginning and the ending of a time loop or time cycle, start in January, but don't plan anything beyond 3 months. Yes, you'll have goals that need to take a year to complete, but break those down into at least 3 months, nothing longer than 3 months.
I mean, you're a busy guy, got lots on the go. How do you manage to carve out the time to do something like write a book, which would be a solitary effort? It would take a lot of time and energy.
One of my favorite quotes or sayings is, if you look for time, you'll never find it. If you want time, you must make it. And so I make the time for things that I want to do. It's as simple as that.
Brilliant. And what's the first thing KK thinks of when you wake up in the morning?
I get up at 5, and by 7, 8, I would have done what most people struggle to do in a day. Hence, I'm able to write the books and to do all the many different things that I'm able to do. My days are never truly the same.
Wonderful. Do you have someone like a coach or mentor guiding you? I mean, who helps you with your big vision? Is it all in your head, or do you have someone who helps you along?
So I have many coaches. Some, yes, officially I actually literally pay for their services because they've got specialized techniques and skills to help me overcome my challenges. But many of them, a great majority of them, are people that I reach out to as friends, you know. But yeah, I'll have my list of questions in my little pocket.
Fantastic, that's encouraging. Now it's time for our 60-second challenge, where we put KK under pressure and give him just 60 seconds to teach me a new skill.
So Tanya, whether you're running a side hustle or a large business, any business really relies on sales. We say sales is the lifeblood of a business. However, many people struggle to truly understand how to maneuver themselves through the sales cycle. Something to truly understand, you have what's called a lead. A lead is somebody who's potentially interested in buying something that you sell, or you may think somebody's interested. And then you have somebody who's a customer, somebody who would have purchased from you. In between, there's a stage called prospective customer. Now, in order to know if somebody is truly a prospective customer, there's one very important thing you must do, and it's called qualifying. You need to qualify if the lead has the money and the need to buy from you. That's what makes them a prospective customer. Until then, do not even bother to try and sell to this individual until you know whether they are able to afford your product or service.
Whoa, well done. Let's give KK a round of applause. That was fantastic, and I think that's going to come in really handy for me in my business, and I'm sure for a lot of you watching at home, so that's fantastic. So KK, in closing, give me your top 3 tips to anybody who's out there wanting to start a business and wanting to get it growing. What do you recommend that they get going on?
So tip number 1, I would say, find something that you are personally passionate about. It's very important because it improves the probability of you sticking with that business. And then secondly, you have to learn, right? You have to grow your knowledge, your ability, and your skills. And find out which ones within that realm of skills, which are your strengths and which are your weaknesses, and obviously find the people that you can collaborate with. And lastly, step number 3, find the best way to actually scale the business. It's one thing to have a product, but it's another to have a business that actually sells and provides that product or service. So find the best way to scale that business, meaning to significantly grow that business by highly improving the revenue without increasing the expenses equally as the revenue improves. That's pretty much what scaling is all about. So I would say start there.
That would be a good start. And tell me, where do people find you?
So you can find me on LinkedIn. Just search for KK Diaz, as well as our website, www.againbusiness.com.
Thank you for joining us here today. We've learned a lot from you, and I'm sure that our viewers will have learned a lot as well. Thanks for watching Side Hustle Academy Vodcast, the #1 show for entrepreneurs looking to take their skill to the next level. We do weekly interviews here, so if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and sharing it with people who you think would benefit from this type of content. As always, some of the best tips and strategies come from our Side Hustle community, so please remember to get involved in the comment section below. We'll chat again in about a week or so, and until then, keep crushing it.